Come on, son. That's what we like. 4-2 to the Arsenal against Leeds. Oh, big game. Big expectations on that game today. And Arsenal came through with flying colours. 4-2, fantastic stuff. Yes, there was the 2. We'll talk about the 2. We'll get to the 2 and the one man who came on, and yes, we'll talk about that too. But Arsenal 4, Leeds 2. Let's go and talk about it with you guys in the chat box as we hit the Raw Reaction Show. Hello and welcome to the Gooner Talk, back in with you guys for another show, for another episode of our Raw Reaction series, the show in which we react to latest Arsenal news, transfers, etc., etc. As Arsenal have beaten Leeds 4-2 in the Premier League, nearly could have been more, could have easily been more, should have been more, and there's so many things to talk about in today's show, and we are going to get your thoughts in the chat box as well. So get your thoughts and comments and thoughts and feelings inside that box, and we will read through as many comments as we can. Kean Riordan says, Tom, Hector Bellerin. Absolutely loving Hector Bellerin scoring. I'll be honest with you, Kean, I thought that was the only good thing he did. I'm going to hold my hands up. I thought that was the only real good thing he did in the game, but he did score, son. So I hope you enjoyed that, mate. Tom says, Saka immense again and great for Aubameyang's confidence to find his scoring boots once again. Rodney says Bellerin and Alba should have scored more than what they already did. Daniel Roberts says, I've always loved Hector Bellerin, you cheeky boy. Memory Man says Hector is a waste of time. I don't want to see no negativity. We just won 4-2, bro. I don't know. I just contradict to myself. But, you know, it is what it is. Juan Felipe Palacio Rivera says Willian playing is not a healthy sign. A player that does not add anything to the team should not be playing ahead of anyone whatsoever. Ronit Gurung says, Tom, can't be too happy about the result. Are you mad? Are you? I'm sorry. What's this? What's this? Is this negativity? Is this negativity creeping into my show? Is this negativity coming in on a result where we just put 4 away? And yeah, we conceded 2 goals in the second half after some ridiculous substitution. But I am not looking at this game and going, that is bad. It is a bad game. Do me a favour. Appreciate your team. Appreciate the tactical decisions of your manager that has got 4 goals from this team. How many people questioned Aubameyang being starting striker? Because I didn't. You watched the preview show. You see who I put in central striker for this game. And I put Aubameyang because he deserved to start this game. We needed to change things up. We had enough creativity around him with Emile Smith-Rowe and Odegaard and Saka, and we certainly created the things that we needed. Now, Aubameyang scoring goals again is just great. It's healthy. It's fun. It gives you that confidence, praying that there's no possible injury issues with him as well. But just so good to see that man happy and scoring. And I said in the preview show about how if we are going to put any impetus, if we are going to put any investment into one of our strikers, it has to be Alba, because we've signed him up to this new contract. Lacazette's got a year left on his deal after this. He didn't get a single shot against Villa. We needed this win, and we needed Aubameyang to score goals, and he is going to be important in midweek against Benfica if he is fit, and fingers crossed he is, and hasn't got too many issues based upon what happened today. But yeah, really, really solid from Aubameyang today. Let's get your thoughts on that. Yes, Yannick, loving your positivity. Great result on to Thursday. Manu Clerks says Arsenal are sexy again. I love that. Lewis Kiriakou says Odegaard and ESR are exciting. Their creativity and movement allows Saka to be left with a fewer men on him. Sexy looking front four. Is that word sexy? Sexy is full. It's full of this. Is it because of Valentine's Day? We're getting a little bit sexy this evening. See Forever says Martinelli, Saka, ESR, and Odegaard with Partey shoring things up is a fantastic prospect. The fact that we didn't even have Partey on this game and we managed to progress the ball so far forwards was really, really good. Matthew says, don't blame Willian for not being able to defend a corner or allowing a cross from our right. I know that, mate. I know that. But tactically, I'm looking at the game and I'm going, what are we getting? What are we getting by bringing him on? I don't get it. I don't understand. There must be some reasons behind why Martinelli is sitting on the bench and isn't put on over Willian. You've got a young kid who needs minutes. Give him minutes. It's nothing. I'll back Arteta all the live long day until I think he deserves criticism. And in this moment, he deserves criticism because I don't think that's the right choice whatsoever. Why? Why bring him on? It makes no sense. He offers nothing. He's given nothing. He gives nothing. The only reason, there's two reasons. There's two reasons I can think to come up with why we're playing Willian. And that is either that we're trying to play him into form, which is stupid because you've got other players like Pepe and Martinelli that need to be playing minutes. Bring them on. And someone needs to ask him the question in the press conference. Why not Martinelli? Why not Pepe over Willian? Why? Explain to me. Someone, please. You've just put Pepe in mad form. You've got him playing to the best of his abilities, Pepe. And you don't bring him on. I can't get my head around it. I really, really can't get my head around why. Oh, anyway, it was a great win. Really fantastic stuff. Ceballos coming in for Partey. Really, really good. Really, really good from Ceballos, I thought. He was solid. He put the tackles in. He got the passes moving forwards. I said I was here for it. I saw that we had Ceballos, Emil Smith-Rowe and Ødegaard, and the free-flowing passing of those three together, playing on that side, really, really good. Really, really good. Ansgar says, I really like Ødegaard. He is a gem in terms of talent. If he can show us end product going forwards, I'll back him over the signing of a Maddison. Wow, that is a big call. Sam says, could be resting Pepe and Martinelli for the European game in midweek. Maybe. We'll have to see what lineup we go with in that game. Mr. Joe Kerr says, has to be an appearance stipulation, mate. Club don't want another massive earner on the bench. It's Ozil all over again. And that's on the club. And Arteta was willing to take a fall by not playing Ozil. So maybe that needs to be the case with Willian again. Afterling says, Arteta, my manager. Abigail says, no, Tom. Look at the positives. And now we have great players rested for Thursday. Okay, Abigail, I'm sorry. I will take the positives from this game. It's hard. It really is difficult sometimes to not look, to get sidetracked by some of the things that really annoy you. And Willian is just something that really grates on me. But yeah. Chris Smith says, could there be something in Willian's contract? Maybe. I wouldn't put it past this club. I really, really wouldn't. Lewis says, 100% agree with you on Ceballos' assist for Bellerin was so nicely disguised. More please from Danny. Cookie Monster says, 22 million apparently. I don't know how true that is. I'm not sure if Ceballos has played alongside Partey, but is it worth a shot? I personally wouldn't be paying what Real Madrid want for Ceballos. Let him go back. Let him move back. I mean, we've got... I can't believe I'm saying this, but like we've got Guendouzi coming back, who is enigmatic as a player. And if you've got him coming back, if you sell him and you get good money for him, then maybe. But I want to see us bringing in someone like Basuma and Wepu, like these guys. I want to see quality being brought into the midfield. And I think those guys are. Steve Forever says, Tom, do you think that we should go for Ceballos? Apparently he'll be available for 20 million. Again, I feel like it's only if we can. We need to prioritise the more marquee signings with the money in the summer. I really, really do think that. Jake McDermott says, if you loved watching us score 4 goals today, then drop a like on the damn video. Yes, Jake. Spot on, son. JD says, Arteta, I expect big things from Gabby Martinelli. I'm fully fit and ready when Mikel needs me. Also, Arteta. Now, I'll just bring on Willian. I don't know. I can't explain it, mate. I have no explanation. Absolutely none. Alfie Nelson says it's a real shame that we didn't have the number 10s earlier in the season. You're spot on, and I bring that up every single time. Why we didn't go out and bring someone in the summer when we clearly needed someone. It will go down as a really, really irritating thing that we missed out on in the first half, is not having a clear number 10. Is what it is. We move forwards. Pablo Mira, absolute legend of one of our members in the chat box, saying great game, great performance from almost everyone today, but can someone explain to me why Willian played? Dave Lennon, another legend in the chat, says the lack of physicality in that 11 was a concern before the game, but the movement and the creativity we got from the front four was superb. It really was. It was interesting that we didn't have that same physicality in the game. I actually thought they combated Leeds really, really well and competed on so many levels. Antonio Banks says why Arsenal shouldn't give Saliba a new contract before he went on loan. I have a gut feeling we will sell him in the summer. Something that we'll talk about at a later date, I am sure. Now Arsenal Toby saying Alba trying to hit that record. Fingers crossed he can keep the goals coming and maybe we'll see it. Ansgar Wagner says Ceballos is very gifted. He still overlaps really often though. And I'm still on the Basuma train. Maybe if we move on El Neni, it could come down to Ceballos or Guendouzi. Matt Thornton says Saka in full beast mode today. Let's talk about let's talk about this penalty. I'm glad that Abe in the chat has brought this up. Let's talk about this penalty, because I'm sorry, but I have never seen such corruption like I did with this penalty. How many times are we not going to be given the rubber? How many times is VAR going to take a look at what Arsenal are doing and not give us the benefit of the doubt? It's a joke. How Saka was not, I can't remember who the player was. I think it may have been Cooper. How that's not a penalty. I don't know if you watch me on Hughes Wizzy's watch along today, but how is that not a pen? How is it not a penalty? I don't get it. I don't understand it. Tell me why, please. Someone tell me, explain to me how that is not a penalty, because it makes no sense. It makes no goddamn sense in my brain how you can't give a penalty for that. I just don't know. I just don't get it. I just don't understand. I can't. I'm so sick of people not seeing as well that there is clearly something going on. Something is going on, because it's not okay. Omar says, Stonewall pen. How it wasn't given, I will never know. David Blashik says it's a pen all day. Clear and obvious, says Daniel Robert. Zamir says Andre Mariner is the Willian of referees. Was he the guy who was in VAR? Because I know it was Stuart Atwell that was the official on the day, who I believe is the guy that sent off Pepe in the Leeds game. Caspar says it was kind of a consolation when they didn't give the pen on for Bamford. I don't think that was a penalty on Bamford. There is a clear difference between the two in that instance. Bamford kicks the ball away. He's miles from it. Saka, is it Saka? It's definitely Gabriel and Cedric that are in front of Bamford. They get in front of Bamford. They muscle him out of it. It's not a pen. Saka is wiped out by Cooper. Utterly wiped out. I don't get it. I don't understand how they can come to that decision. And not only that, the ref gives it, and then VAR has to make some kind of clear and obvious error. It is not a clear and obvious error, is it? It's not black and white in that situation. If you've given a pen for that, there is nowhere near enough evidence to say that that is not a penalty. I'm sorry, but it's a joke. And it is clearly the rhetoric behind this just agenda against Arsenal is, I can't. I'd love to be the guy that thinks that swings and roundabouts and that things will level out at the end of the season. But I'm just seeing week after week after week, and I'm going to sit here time again on social media defending my club against fools that can't see that there is this rhetoric and that there are reasons why we are where we are in the table, because part of that reason is down to poor officiating, not giving us clear decisions, not giving us a penalty against Villa, stupid decisions against Wolves, not giving us this decision here. I'm not given the red card. I mean, that's more up in the air against Villa with a Saka red card, but still, just not. There are so many times when decisions have just not gone our way, or have gone against us, or have been overturned, and it's just unbelievable, man. And also, Alioski, unlucky, mate. Unlucky, son. I'm sorry, mate. I'm sorry you didn't quite get the win. Enjoy being in the second half of the table. Enjoy that. Yeah, enjoy where you are. You're nothing, mate. Absolutely nothing, son. And you've been done. You've been mugged. Absolutely mugged. You looking forward to this game? Are you looking forward to this game today? Sorry, mate. Unlucky, because you've been absolutely boss, son. Sam Trester says, look how long they took to give the goal against Liverpool, spotting a toe, making the player onside. We are just asking for the same courtesy. Take your time and look to make the right call. JD says, not surprised with the penalty being overturned. The corruption against Arsenal should be fairly obvious by now to everyone. Alexius says, I loved how the commentator said, yeah, it's definitely a penalty. VAR rules it out. And he says something like, I think I didn't see it that well the first time. Yeah, mental. Lewis, isn't it sad we have to smash the opposition by scoring 4 in order for the poor refereeing decisions to make no impact on the final result? Daniel Roberts says, I loved Aubameyang playing off the left, interchanging with Emil Smith-Rowe. He was playing as that central striker, but he definitely drifted 100%. Daniel says, am I the only one that noticed that VAR didn't show the ref the one angle at which you could clearly see that it was a penalty? Maybe that's the case, but you know what they're like. They're really trying to give us nothing in these games. Peter Renner says, Tom, I don't need to be a bummer. You always are, Peter, to be fair, in my chat. But how is that we cannot take a corner? And also, why do we not learn to put someone at the front post? I don't know why we can't take a corner, Peter. It's a very valid question, and I apologise for my prejudgment. But I don't know. I don't know why we can't take a corner. For some reason, we just can't take a corner. David Keefe says, Tom, we desperately missed Partey. I don't think we did, genuinely. Obviously, I think we might have been a lot better with Partey, but I was okay. But I didn't watch that game and go, you know what, we really missed Partey. I genuinely didn't. But I genuinely believe that if Partey was playing, maybe we would have come off with an even better result. But I'm not that fussed. I genuinely didn't miss him today. I really didn't. Toby says, on to Benfica now, Tom. I'm intrigued to see what your lineup will be in the preview. Well, of course, we will do a preview probably on Wednesday morning. So members, if you are available Wednesday morning, make sure you let me know in the Discord. Tiger Martin says, Leeds definitely missed Calvin Phillips. Yes, they did, but we didn't have Tierney or Partey today. So if anyone's going to try and use that rhetoric to say that Arsenal had it easy today, then you know where their agendas lie. Porky Porks says the only thing we desperately missed was another player when Willian came on. Yeah, my comedic tweet. Let's see how it's getting on. Utterly ridiculous. Why that was? Yeah, we're not gonna linger. We're not gonna linger. Matt says, Tom, you're being far too biased. Saka slalomed, I think you meant to be saying there, between two players and lost his balance. Bamford way more a pen. I disagree. Massively so. Massively so. Juan says, Bellerin was the classic I race with the elbow, what I did with the hand. I thought Bellerin was, again, pretty absent. Obviously, he got his goal. That goal is a microcosm of his game. Like a goal for a right-back, it doesn't forgive the rest of the performance for me. I still thought he didn't really offer anything in the final third. Fair play to get the goal. This isn't an agenda. You've watched previous shows. I've really defended Bellerin. I really, really have. But yeah, just no for me. Sorry, but no, didn't enjoy his performance. So let's have a look what you're saying. Arsenal Acid says Bamford more of a pen than Saka, but need a differing opinion to promote the channel. Fubar Gunner says Bellerin gets slack because of the poor first touches in the final third. MIL Reaction says Reese, is that Reese, do you mean? Could have done a better job of running around than Willian. I think that you've got two other players on the bench in Pepe and Martinelli that should be talking about. Before we start talking about Reece Nelson, who I don't think has offered much, to be honest. It does on FIFA, says Yannick. You score from a right back and you get a 9 out of 10. David Key says, Tom, how disappointed would Pepe have been today for not getting on the pitch? I think if he doesn't play on Thursday, he'll be very disappointed. That's for sure after the performances that he's put in. Hilmi says, would you start Pablo Mari against Benfica? I thought Gabriel had a really good game. Apparently, I've been told that Gabriel's regressing after 90 minutes. Personally disagree with that statement, but I thought Gabriel did really, really well today. Was excellent, actually. Really, really solid and defended brilliantly. David Luiz, I thought, had a good game as well. Passing was good. Pressing was great. Pushing up into the opposition's half. Risky as hell, but when he did it, he did it really successfully. So fair play. I thought both our centre-backs played well today. Porky Pork says, agree with you, Vignesh. The commentators really were praising Leeds the whole game. I don't listen to the commentary because I'm doing the watch along, so that's absolutely new to me. So I've got hiccups now. It's that gin going straight through me on Valentine's Day. Kian says, Tom, do you think I was right with Cedric Wright instead of Saka? I think Kian, Saka was brilliant today. Like, he was really good. Honestly, really, really good. Would the game have been different if Saka was at left back, Cedric at right back, and Pepe maybe in the 11? We won't know. Honestly, we won't know. But yeah, he did really, really well today in the front line. Cedric, I thought, had a good game as well at left back. I thought Cedric was lively. I thought he was attacking well. Defensively, he did quite well. So yeah, I was really happy with Cedric today. So fair play again. Back on the Cedric train as we are. Zamir says, conceded our first goal at the Emirates this calendar year. I also think if we have a look at the Premier League table, let's do that now and have a look at the Premier League table and get it up on screen so you guys can see it. And we can have a bit of a discussion, a quick chat about that. Where is it? It's Premier League table. There we go. Arsenal now with the defensive record of conceding 25 goals, which is now the fifth best defensive record in the league behind Chelsea and Aston Villa joint with Spurs. So it is joint third in the table. Still joint third defensive record in the table, having conceded just 25 goals this season, which if you think about it, 25 goals is still quite a few. Obviously, goals have been flying in all over the place this season. What really bugs me is that I look at the form of Arsenal and I go, if those two games against Villa and Wolves, and we're sitting on 40 points, man, we're joint fourth. Well, that's just crazy, isn't it? Like, if what doesn't happen against Wolves, it's mad, isn't it? It's just such fine margins, and yet what really frustrates me is that I'm told to sit here and go, look at the league table, look at where we are in the league. Like, that's what matters most, is where we are in February, is where we are in the league. Had we have beaten Wolves and Villa, which I know he's talking about ifs and buts and maybes, but if we'd have beaten Wolves and Villa, which we could have done, had the decisions been made in the correct manner, how I feel the decisions should be made, then we'd be talking about a completely different team. And yet I'm sitting here being told to look at the league table, and you see like how close we are and how tight it is. I'm sorry, but I just can't buy it. I don't buy it that the league table right now is definitive of where Arsenal are. It just isn't for me. It really, really isn't. It's like it's Feb. It's mental. Ansgar says it really comes down to how many we move, how we move from here. Can we get a draw or even a win against City? The answer to that is probably no. City are unbelievably good. They are unreal in terms of the depth that they have, the quality that they have. If we come out of that game and we've competed, I'm going to be looking at that and going, fair play for competing in that game coming up against a really, really good City side. I'm not going to be losing my head because I think we've done really well against the big sides this season. It's a tough game. It's so difficult. Fingers crossed we got our boys on form for that game. It is massive. It is huge. And if Arsenal can get anything from it, it will go really far towards getting something from the season. Really, really will. But they've got an amazing defensive record. They've got the best of, they're just so good. But yeah, if we can get a win, I'm looking at if you told me that we win both games against Benfica, but we lose against City, I'm fine with that. I'm absolutely fine with that. So yeah, it's a really tough one. Really tough game. Arteta, I think, knows that. I think Arteta knows that we've got these games coming up and he needs to rotate. And I think we will see a different team on Thursday. We won't see the same lineup as we did today. There will be changes because we've got to manage the situation. We really, really have. And it's really tough of a run. We've got City and Leicester and West Ham and Spurs and Burnley. Is it Burnley, I think? I mean, let's have a look at the fixtures. We've got Benfica, City, Benfica, Leicester, Burnley away. Then the Europa League again, Spurs, if we get through, Spurs, West Ham, Liverpool. Like, it is such, and then Sheffield United away, which I know people look at Sheffield United, but I mean, they've got draws out of teams this season and have picked up their form slightly. And then we have Fulham and Everton, Newcastle, West Brom, and then Chelsea in May. And then by then we're at May, and then we're at the end of the season. Like, it's so fast how this season's coming to a close already. There is not too many games to pick up the points that we need, and we can't afford to be dropping them in too many of these games. We need to be getting some big wins and we need to be taking chances where we can. And it's going to be tough. But if everyone gets back to full fitness, if we get Tierney back, if we get Partey back, if we get these guys firing on full form, this Arsenal team's got potential. It really, really does. And if some of the bloody decisions go our way, that would be nice. JD says we could have got top four under Emery if the referees were not corrupt. Remember how a lot of decisions went against us that season. We could have got top four under Emery if he hadn't have decided to rotate heavily against Crystal Palace and Brighton. That would have been great, But no, he didn't do that. He wanted to rotate. Moron. Vignesh says, don't worry, Tom. We are going to beat Benfica. They are very similar to Wolves. What is that? Wolves who beat us twice this season? Porky Pork says, what's Benfica's form like lately? What are we walking into? Don't worry, I'm going to try my best to sort something for Benfica, and we will educate about Benfica. Man of the match, says Sam. I think you can't really go too far past Aubameyang, to be honest, Sam. Aubameyang, Saka was excellent. I thought Gabriel was excellent. I thought Sabas had a really good game. I thought Cedric had a good game, but Aubameyang for me is easily far and away the MVP of that performance. He was absolutely excellent. And that is where, on Valentine's Day, right, there isn't going to be another show this evening. The podcast will be tomorrow night. I'm going to be joined by Owen and Jess and Tomo as well. So there's your guest for tomorrow night, 8:30. Make sure you come and check us out. Drop a like on today's video. Really, really appreciate your time this evening joining me. I hope you enjoy the rest of your evening. If you're spending it with someone special, make sure you enjoy it. If you are not, I hope you find them very soon. Is the only relationship advice you're ever going to get from me. And if you haven't already, please check out the podcast I did with John yesterday, the Let's Talk Arsenal podcast, talking about a lot of the social aspects of Arsenal and everything I like with that. Enjoy the rest of your evening, people. It's been an absolute pleasure, as always. I'll see you again very, very soon. And as always, up the Arsenal.